Hey, do you think it's possible that we are currently living in the middle of Bible prophecy? Which one would it be? Well, I want to show you something that might surprise you. It should actually both encourage us and really concern us. Stay with me and let's dive into the Bible. I'm Olivier with Shalom and Messiah. Now, before we start, I want to invite you to subscribe to our Telegram channel as you see the barcode on your screen. And you can follow all the updates that I post on a daily basis several times a day, especially in the next couple of days. In the next week or so, I'll be in Israel. So you are going to want to be connected with us because I'll have a lot to share. And of course, thank you for watching on YouTube. Please subscribe and visit our website at shalominmessiah.com and connect with us on our website. And thank you to all those of you who have supported our ministry and who continue to do so. And there's a place on the website to donate if that is something the Lord is leading you to do. So thank you for that. So I want to get into today's message because it's grave concern. I'm looking at the events against Israel and against the Jewish people. Let me give you just a few examples, and I pulled out the headlines here. Big rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the UK. I mean, we know that in the UK is one of the largest Muslim population in all of Europe, probably right after France. Next headline, Germany suspends Gaza-linked arms sales to Israel over Netanyahu's plan to occupy the Strip. So Germany is saying no more weapons. Now, I don't particularly like the term occupy. I think it is a poor choice of word because the enemies of Israel are going to use that to say, see, we told you all along. Israel and Bibi Netanyahu's government, all they want to do is occupy Gaza, occupy, occupy, occupy. How about take back because it is actually part of Israel? They don't really want to live there. They still want Arabs to control the area as they've given it away in 2005, which I thought was a mistake, but that's not for now. But by using the word occupy, we are fueling the fire, I think. France will recognize Palestinian state. That's what Macron said a couple of weeks ago at the UN General Assembly. France and UK will recognize Palestinian state. How about this? The Paris office of Israeli airline El Al has been vandalized with red graffitis, red paint graffitis on the door. Anything connected to Israel or to Jewish people ends up being up for grabs. If you want to do something against them, pick a method and go ahead. Hurt the Jews, hurt Israel, vandalize, uh, uh, even commit crimes of physical harm. That can happen too. We've seen it. We've seen death in Washington, D.C. about a month ago. It keeps going on. It keeps adding every day. We cannot keep up. A Jewish man was physically assaulted, his kippah thrown to the ground in Montreal, Canada. And it's like just yesterday. The police is still investigating. Jewish man walking on the street, assaulted for no apparent reason, except for one reason. He's Jewish. This is the world we live in. A new school year begins and anti-Semitism seems poised to return to campus. That's a U.S. headline. Some of the schools have been fined a large amount of money because of their anti-Semitism or because of allowing anti-Semitism to take place on campus over the last few months. And it's a good it's going in the right direction, but it's probably not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Now, I mentioned to you early in the podcast, what if we're living in the middle of a prophecy being fulfilled? Well, friends, I believe we are. And I'm a very conservative believer. I don't like to sensationalize anything. I don't like to uh, connect dots in the Bible that are not really connectable. And so I'm always being very careful. But there's something that got my attention. And I got this, I think, it was published in January of this year, but I got this maybe about a month ago. And this has been gnawing at me, and I keep thinking about it every single day. This is the result of a survey by the ADL. And the survey says that 46%, that's just about half, okay? 46% of worldwide adults harbor some kind of anti Jewish sentiment. Or, it says here significant anti Semitic beliefs. 46%. Why does that matter? Well, friends, if you look in the Bible, if you go to Zechariah chapter 12 is a very, very powerful chapter. And in Zechariah chapter 12, verse 3, we read, "But it will be in that day that I will make Jerusalem a heavy stone for all the peoples. All who heave it up will be severely injured, and all the nations of the earth will be gathered against it." This is going to happen in the end times, which I believe we are in the end times. This is why my book is coming out October 7th, Antisemitism in the End Times. By the way, you can pre order it on Amazon. So make sure you do that. Antisemitism in the End Times. I talk a lot about what's going on right now, including October 7, 2023, and how it changed the world, and not just in Israel, but it changed the whole world, and how anti Semitism came out of the box and has reached the point of no return, friends. This anti-Semitism is it not going back. It is no longer swept under the rug. It is no longer people are no longer speaking in code. They are open about it. It has become trendy to be anti-Semitic. I never thought I would be saying this in my lifetime. This is so concerning. So Zechariah 12:3 says that at some point in the future, which I think we're nearing right now, the whole world will go against Jerusalem. The whole world will go against the Jewish people. 46% as of right now. That's half. I never thought we would reach that number before the tribulation. And I don't believe we are in the tribulation. I am premillennial, pre-trib. I believe the next event will be the rapture. Please don't put the comments in the video saying like there's no such thing as a rapture. This is not about the rapture. This is about anti-Semitism exploding. Okay? It is very, very serious. But friends, God is faithful. God has made covenants with Israel. Of the 8 covenants he made with the world, 5 of them are with Israel. The other 3 that he made with mankind in general are the Edenic, the Adamic, and the Noahic covenants. All the others, the 5 others, the Mosaic, the Abrahamic, Mosaic, Davidic, land, and new covenants, all are made with Israel directly between God and Israel. 5 out of 8. And of those 5, 4 are unconditional, eternal, which means God is not going to change his mind. So Israel is secure. There'll be casualties. We've seen that. And there'll be more, unfortunately. But Israel's existence is secure because of God's character. And we actually see it in the rest of chapter 12. In verse 9, "And it will be on that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem." So you have to look at Zechariah chapter 12 with 2 bookends. Verse 3, the world will go against the Jews. Verse 9, God will go against those who go against the Jews. Guaranteed. That is going to be happening. It's guaranteed. In the meantime, the world is going against the Jews. And most people are looking the other way. The bystanders of the Nazi era, I've been speaking against this for 25 years, friends. The bystanders of the Nazi era seem to be coming back to life. There's a new generation of bystanders, and that is wrong. A bystander who does nothing only facilitates the work of a perpetrator. We cannot be bystanders. As believers, as Bible believers, we cannot be bystanders. We have to speak up. We have to stand up. We have to fight against anti Semitism. Are we going to succeed in eradicating anti Semitism? I think not. I think right now it's out. It's going to get worse before it gets better. The Jewish people are going to, unfortunately, suffer at the hand of many, many, many people from so many different angles. It's hard to keep up. And then we're going to be raptured. And then the Jewish people will go through the tribulation, the time of Jacob's trouble. The whole world left behind will go through the tribulation. It's not just the Jewish people, but it is the time of Jacob's trouble. And unfortunately, as we read in the next chapter of Zechariah, in verse 8 and 9, it will be in all the land, declares Yahweh, that two parts in it will be cut off and breathe their last, but the third will be left in it. And I will bring the third part through the fire and refine them as silver is refined and test them as gold is tested. They will call on my name. I will answer them. I will say, they are my people. And they will say, Yahweh is my God. 2/3 of the Jewish people are going to perish during the tribulation. There's nothing we can do about it. It's part of God's word. So what do we do? Do we just throw our hands in the air and go like, who am I? Just one person. Well, friends, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Here in that passage, God has only given us a percentage, not an exact number. In other words, the 2/3 could be less than the current 10 million out of 15 million Jews in the world. Why? Because we can really work hard at reaching the Jewish people and leading them to their Messiah, Yeshua of Nazareth. That's on us to make that 1/3 that is becoming believers bigger by reaching out to Jewish people today and securing their eternal abode by introducing them to the Messiah. One final thought at the end of the tribulation. Look at verse 12 of Zechariah. And I will pour out on the house of David and on the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplication, so that they will look on me whom they have pierced, and they will mourn for him as one mourns for an only son, and they will weep bitterly over him, like the bitter weeping over a firstborn. The Jewish people at the end of the tribulation who have survived will say, Baruch haba b'Shem Adonai. Blessed is you who comes in the name of the Lord. They will call upon the one whom they have pierced. Yeshua of Nazareth, Jesus. That triggers the second coming. Friends, the Jewish people are needed in God's plan to call on Jesus to return for the second coming. And Satan knows that. And Satan is behind anti-Semitism, and he's pushing it right now because he knows he's running on fumes. So we're seeing prophecy being fulfilled. Zechariah 12 is being fulfilled right now. We live in the middle of prophetic times. This is very exciting for those of us who have placed their trust in Yeshua. This is very scary for those who have not. So you have a decision to make. You have a choice to make. In the meantime, for those of us who are believers, the time is now to reach out to our Jewish friends, to tell our Jewish neighbors, Jewish co-workers, Jewish schoolmates, family members maybe, I'm your friend. I read my Bible. My Messiah, your Messiah, is Jewish. The writers of the Bible are Jewish. I will be there for you. Friends, again, the times we live in are incredibly exciting. Zechariah 12 is being fulfilled in our lifetime. There's another prophecy that I want to talk to you about. That's for another time. It's Ezekiel 36, the return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel. But that's for another time. For the time being, thanks for watching and be blessed.